The CI before Parliament seeks to promote the continuous registration of voters and advocates for an all-year-round registration of eligible voters at the district offices of the Electoral Commission. It is a clear departure from the previous system where the voters' registration was done for a limited period. We are mindful of Article 42, Article 42 of the Constitution, which enjoins us to register Ghanaians who are 18 years and above and who are of sound mind. We do not intend to disenfranchise persons who qualify to vote. More especially, it will prevent unqualified persons from influencing our elections and having a say as to who should govern our country. This is an issue that borders on the sovereignty of our nation. Simply put, only eligible Ghanaians must be entitled to vote. And we call on our honorable members to support our efforts to prevent foreigners and minors from getting onto our electoral roll, that the Ghana card will not be used to vote in the 2024 election. The Ghana card is only a requirement to register as a voter. Once you present your Ghana card and successfully register as a voter, you will be issued with a voter's identification card which bears the code of your region, your district, your electoral area, and the name of your polling station. The Ghana card does not have these features, and therefore it will not be used to vote in the 2024 general election.
Hello, welcome to Ghana Connect. Tonight, the controversial proposal from the Electoral Commission, which is seeking to make the Ghana card the sole identity document to register as a voter. If this CI, which is still at the pre-laying stages in Parliament, goes through, you cannot use your passport or any other national document to prove that you are a Ghanaian citizen of age and seek to enroll onto the voters register. No one can guarantee for you as well, unlike during previous registration when registered voters could vouch for a person. This proposal is sharply dividing Parliament, and like you heard there from the Electoral Commission, this is something that will guarantee credible elections in the country. The minority say that they are opposed to this proposal.
There are three things that are not negotiable. First, we believe that the guarantor system must be added because the Ghana card alone cannot be used as proof of citizenship. So it is obvious that Article 42 talks of proof of citizenship, but doesn't talk of using an ID card as proof of citizenship, one ID card as proof of citizenship. So we insist that the guarantor system is time-tested. It is proven that, obviously, in the case of myself, I did not get to choose to be a Ghanaian. I was born Ghanaian, and my parents should be able to take me to registration center and vouch for me to indicate that since they are Ghanaians and they have evidence that they are Ghanaians, their son also qualifies to be a Ghanaian. And the Constitution provides that clearly. So it's not negotiable. We are insistent that it should be part of it. If for any reason the EC claims that it has been abused, our position is simple. They have every right to strengthen it. In fact, the abuse they are talking about is negligible. It constitutes 0.09% of the total registered voters. So how can that be a material basis for them to abandon the guarantor system completely? It cannot be the basis, and so we insist that it should be part of it. And if she claims that the NIA system is robust, she should just adopt it and then go by it and then let us do it.
So you had the minority leader, actually, Dr. Keselatu Forsen, laying out the case for which reason the NDC are opposed to this new constitutional instrument. Of course, the majority side have also been speaking. Their leader, Osei Chairman Sabonsu, says this is simply the NDC being opposed to all the recent developments that will improve Ghana's electoral system.
Once the CI comes into operation, it's going to be continuous on daily basis. So you turn 18, People are saying that they were talking about people going to queue. Queue for what? If the whole is a year-long activity, how are you going to queue? And that if you go there and you have to sleep there and so on and so forth. They live in the Old Testament period. This is ushering us into a New Testament. And you still will want to kill ram to pacify God. Jesus Christ has come to redeem us. And from hence, we live by grace. Ghana card is the one that is going to guarantee continuous registration. The new CI is the one that is going to guarantee continuous registration. So colleagues, let nobody throw dust in the eyes of Ghanaians, because what they are engaged in is selling palpable untruths. Let's not forget that when anytime improvement is coming into the system, migrating from opaque boxes to transparent boxes, from thumb-printed ballot ID cards to picture ID cards, migrating from black and white to colored, migrating from the picture ID cards being restricted to only cities, to the rural areas, and now the introduction of biometrics. Every single one of them has been opposed by the NDC. Why? What explains this?
So you heard the majority leader, State Chairman Sabonso. Right after this break, my connectors are live right here on Joy 99.7 FM.
Me tycoon. Hey, see the plenty money you are carrying this early morning. Adey.
Charlie, E-Levy asemu.
E-Levy do what? As for you, you wait and listen to all the information before you start carrying money up and down like we are in 1995. The E-Levy there, it has come. But you know MTN will always find a way to sort you out.
Sort me out, Sese.
Oh, so you don't know that when you transfer money between your personal accounts, cash in and cash out at agent points, buy airtime or data, pay bills, receive remittance from abroad, or even pay taxes, there are no E-Levy charges?
Hey, we are sure.
Listen, there are a number of transactions you can perform with your MTN Momo that are not affected by the E-Levy tax. And there's even more, Kra. Remember, your first 100 Ghana cedi transfer for the day is free too.
Hey, Nami Nimo.
Now, dear, you know.
There are a number of transactions you can perform with your MTN Momo that are not affected by the E-Levy tax. So keep enjoying the security and convenience with MTN Momo and make payments on the go with MTN Momo.
MTN.
Son, we are so proud of you for setting up this hospital. I really love those hospital beds and waiting chairs. By the way, did you import them?
No, Dad, I didn't. I actually got them from Kindle Books and Stationery right here in Ghana.
Wow. We also bought our office supplies, safes, executive desks and chairs from Kingdom, and they gave us expert advice on how to set up our office.
Guys, that makes 3 of us. I also got our sofa and bedroom sets, plus our dining hall furniture for our new home from Kingdom.
Wow, Mom, that makes 4 of us. I usually get my stationery items from Kingdom, and my teacher also mentioned that our classroom furniture was provided by Kingdom.
So there you have it. Whenever you're thinking about setting up an office or acquiring furniture for your home, etc., Kingdom Books and Stationery should be your first point of call. With over 40 years experience in the industry, we stock and supply a wide variety of globally sourced office and home furniture, stationery and equipment. Visit our head office, Osu Akwaje, or our office near the Osu Stadium. We're also in Tema Community 1, opposite Olam SHF, Kumasi KNUST campus, UCC Cape Coast, and now at the Marina Mall, Airport City. Or call us 0302 764101, 764209, or 762792. Visit our website www.kingdomgh.com.
Luxurious affordable living is your right, and no one understands it better than BOT Properties. BOT Properties specializes in modern residential buildings and commercial office spaces. Our properties include the Equator, a 12-story made up of over 100 apartments near Accra Mall. Other Equator courts, we offer you the deluxe living experience with our top-of-the-range homes, high-quality homes built with style and precision to suit your lifestyle. The Equator Court is a gated community with 2-story, 4-bedroom detached houses at Ogbojo, East Legon, near American House. Our office complexes include Zion House, Shiashi, East Legon, Zion House, Sofaline Interchange, Kumasi. Our offices and apartments are for both rental and outright purchases at affordable prices and with flexible payment terms. Kindly contact us on 0257 960 919 or visit botproperties.com. BOT Properties, the new meaning of affordable luxury.
Just when you thought you've seen it all and done it all, guess what the next big one is? Asante Travels, the 2022 GTA Best Tour Operator in Ghana, in partnership with your cruise people, brings you the most exciting cruise to happen in a lifetime to Greece, Turkey, Italy, and Spain. Dubbed the Special Euro Cruise and Land Tour. On this trip, you will have an unforgettable experience exploring Santorini, Mykonos, Kushadasi, and Patmos. Afterwards, you will also be on land touring Athens, Rome, and Barcelona to crown it all with the refreshing vibe of music and entertainment and the magnificent Camp Nou Stadium. Join this amazing cruise from 6th to 17th April 2023 for just $4,500, covering flight, visa, all-inclusive cruise, hotels, and meals. This is too good a trip to miss. Contact Asante Travels on 0595 500 817 or 0556 310 404 to book your spot now. Asante Travels, fuel life's beauty.
Keys. What could be simpler than a key? Who doesn't have a key? A car key, an office key, a drawer key, but there's one key that rules them all. The house key, the key to a place we call home, the key to the home where everything comes together, the key to a home that is our own, a home where we make life happen with our families and loved ones. Adoha has been working hard for over 30 years to make home ownership within reach for many. Say yes to property with Adoha. Your dream home is one call away. Your dream home is a few clicks away. Visit our Accra project, The Place, by calling 030-2789-757.
Welcome back to Ghana Connect right here on Joy FM. So like I told you before we went for that break, the Electoral Commission is seeking to lay a new constitutional instrument in Parliament. Among other things, this CI will make the Ghana card the sole identity document to register as a voter. Also, persons who will be seeking to get onto the voters register would have to go to the nearest district office to register. There's a split in Parliament, and the NDC are already up in arms. This week, Jane Mensah, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, was in Parliament to brief MPs on this matter. I have a group of people who really know what they're about on this issue, and they are joining me to discuss these matters right here on Ghana Connect. First, I have connecting with me Osei Kwame Griffith. He used to be the head of IT at the National Identification Authority. They are the ones producing the Ghana card, and it's such a sticking point for all of this. He's joining us. He's also, until recently, NDC's Director of IT. Osei Kwame Griffith, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Right. I'm also joined by Derek Ejekum. He's an activist. Derek, can you unmute, please, Derek?
Kwaku, good evening.
Thank you very much, Derek, for joining us. I also have Abdallah Martin, a longtime friend. He's also the immediate past president of NPP's campus wing, TESCON, at the University of Ghana. Martin, thanks for joining us.
Kwaku, thank you so much for having me, and a very good evening to the listening public.
Very shortly, we'll also be joined by Julius Kwame Anthony, he's a former General Secretary of the National Union of Ghana Students. We are discussing election. You can also join in via WhatsApp 055-1111-997, 055-1111-997. We'll be very grateful to read your comments. My name is Kwaku Asante. So let me start right away from you, Osei Kwame Griffith, because of your background. You've worked before with the National Identification Authority. You've also raised some questions sometime when the NDC had issues with the EC's posturing on this matter. First off, are you impressed with the response both the EC chair and the NIA officials gave Parliament in terms of assuring them that by the time this CI goes through, if it does, almost all eligible Ghanaians will have their Ghana card and be able to register?
Not at all. Not at all. Let me first of all say good evening to your viewers. First of all,
if the readiness of NIA is anything to go by, we can look at the issues that came about with the SIM card registration, where the institution that is mandated to register SIM cards had, more or less provided their own sort of biometric system just because they feel that NIA is not ready. Well, I don't really buy, totally that NIA is not, has not done a good job. But I don't think we are at that stage where the NIA would be the only card that can be used for registration, for voting. And the reason why I say that is that the NIA, per their arrangements, as they are supposed to go to the field twice. First to register citizens, and then after that, go through data deduplication and data cleaning and what have you, and then go back and then distribute cards. But per the new solution that was procured, NIA made it clear that they would only go once, and then they would issue cards instantly to Ghanaians. So therefore, NIA has not been to the field twice at the polling station level. So at the polling station level, they have gone there once to register, and with the hope that they could issue cards to, all registrants. Unfortunately, everybody knows that the instant issuance did not work as planned. Therefore, you have cards that are sitting in district centers, because they had to then disconnect, come to the central printing house, do printing, but they haven't gone back to the polling station level, which means there are people whose cards are sitting at the district headquarters of the NIA. And some of them don't even know that their cards are ready and are sitting at the district headquarters. So therefore, I think that it is not just mere, the figures they give and what have you, and then, the promise that we will be ready. From what they said in Parliament, they have no plans of going back to the polling station level. And there's a reason why the registration and distribution of cards are done at the registration level. Coming to the district level just for your card, comes with a cost. And there are people who can't genuinely afford. And those people, you are going to put between them and their right to vote some amount of money that they cannot afford. And I think that is not enfranchising, as is the mandate of the Electoral Commission. It is disenfranchising. If you look at the figures that the NIA gave out, they said they have registrable population 19.9. I'm going by the 15 years and above. This was at their website, a few years back when they started the registration. They said they have registered about 17 million.
But isn't that an impressive figure, Griffith? If I'm expecting to register 19.9 million and I've done 17, it means I have a backlog of 2.9 million. If I get the needed resources, then I can finish this in time. Then the Electoral Commission can go ahead, because the world is getting to a point where countries are moving closely towards a harmonized national identity. That's right.
Yes, and that harmonized national identity was something that was put together before we left office in 2016. And I want to state clearly that the system that is being used currently, factory acceptance tests, was done in December of 2016, before we left office, in January. So we understand that there is a need for a harmonized identification management system with a multifunctional cards. So that system was designed under my leadership. So we understand very well, the need for that. However, when we wanted to charge just 10 cedis for a card, we came under fire because it was made very clear that even if it is 5 cedis, then we cannot say that the NIA card will be used for registration for voting, because the person who cannot afford 5 cedis will not be able to have access to his NIA card and therefore will not be able to vote. Now, for 19.9 million, 17.7 million registered and then issued is 15 point something million. There's a gap. Now, let me make it very clear that that gap of about 4 million, they are not sitting at one location. Resources that you need, and I made that very clear, that they haven't gone for the second time to the polling station level.
So
and the fact that they haven't gone for the second time to the polling station level, tells you that there are people who cannot afford to transport themselves, because some of the districts coming from the rural area, wherever they are, to the district capital, it can cost a lot of money. Let's take Bamboy, for example. Bamboy, you have registered a farmer at Bamboy. It takes about 2.5 to 3 hours to get to Bole. So you are expecting that that person can put his own bill to get to Bole, go and chase the NIA card, which people come for about 2 weeks before they get it or never get it and they go back. That person, you are putting, that lack of a NIA card between him or her and his right to vote.
So, okay, Griffith, I want you to hold it there for me. I'll come back on that point. You've advanced a point that I want to put to Abdallah Martin. Martin, you've been monitoring all this that's been going on in Parliament, and Osekwame Griffith seemed to have laid that platform, the basis for which the NDC minority in Parliament and the NDC party writ large are against the Electoral Commission in this. Isn't this point that have been advanced convincing enough? Martin. Hello, Martin. Can you unmute?
Yeah, can you come again, please?
Right. So I was making a point that Osekwame Griffith has laid such a foundation. It is on this foundation that the NDC say that they are opposed completely to this idea of using the Ghana card as a sole identity document to register. There are still so many people who don't have their card through no fault of theirs. If the EC is going to push its way through, then people are going to be disenfranchised. Isn't that a legitimate point that the EC should be considering at this point?
I beg to differ, and thank you so much, Kwaku. I beg to differ from the opinion and the position as expressed by Mr. Griffith. He has put across a certain spurious narrative about the NIE and about its registration and the cost that is involved. I want to put it on record. I do not hold brief for the NIE. What we all seek to do is to be able to heal the beef and to inject hygiene into the discourse that is happening now. Some people are seeking for their own political aggrandizement to contaminate the political atmosphere with so much spurious narratives. First off, he had established that he made a statement that when you go to the NIA district offices, you will need to make a payment before you can register. That is so spurious, and that is absolutely wrong. It is only when you go to do a replacement or do an update that you pay 34.5 Ghana cedis. But when you are going as a fresh registrant, you don't make any payment. Fast forward, Kwaku, as Democrats, we are and we tout ourselves to be. Clearly, we are bound in principle to subscribe to the tenets, the dynamics, the nuances of democracy. These tenets, as we all know, are built on a free, fair, transparent, and credible elections. And for us to fulfill a free, fair, transparent election, we must have as a bipartisan background a credible and a register that has integrity. So, Kwaku, to the extent that the new regime, as proposed by the Electoral Commissioner in the draft CI to the extent that it will introduce an inclusive and a participatory electoral process, which will be free and fair. I stand with that. But we have all listened to the briefing by the Electoral Commissioner and the NIA boss, Professor Ken Atofua, on Tuesday on the floor of Parliament. Clearly, as the lawyers would say, we are as street lawyers. It's a look tokwa. The facts will speak for themselves. Clearly, when you look at the numbers, the statistics, what does the statistics say?
The statistics also show, Martin, that the NIA also has up to about 3.5 million cards, which has been seized by banks because they are indebted and people can't get their cards. Those were facts that also came up on the floor of Parliament.
Absolutely. That is why, because they are indebted to their bank, absolutely, the finance minister was also on the floor and he made it clear. And the electoral commissioner also confirmed, as the finance minister did confirm, that a payment of 80 million Ghana cedis has been advanced to the bankers, that is Cal Bank. And that would mean that all the outstanding cards that needs to be released from the warehouse will be duly released upon the payment plan that is being implemented by the Cal Bank and the Ministry of Finance. So clearly the statistics that is involved is that as we speak, in the data of the NIA, they have 17,365,861 registrants in their data. And the outstanding number as we see it today is about 541,529. So what we are saying now is that upon the release by the Ministry of Finance to the bankers, the NIA is promising and is giving us an assurance that they have the technical and the operational competency to be able to deliver these cards within 11 days. So from the look of all this and from the in the face of this assurance, if you have the National Democratic Congress and their members in Parliament expressing concern about this registration, you can only not help but to say that this is a fuse and this is much ado about nothing. It is essentially a tempest in the teacup.
Martin, thanks for that early comments. Let me go to Derek. Derek, you've been listening to Martin, who holds a contrary opinion to the ones that has been shared by Osei Kwame Griffith. He himself having worked previously as head of IT at the National Identification Authority. Would you advise the EC to tarry a bit slowly in its quest to get the Ghana card to become the sole identity document to enroll as a voter? Derek. Hello, Derek. Derek, can you unmute?
Good evening, Kwaku. Good evening to your listeners. I'm on the hello.
Well, Derek,
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. I can hear you. The network is better now.
Hello, Kwaku.
Derek, I can hear you now. So we will try and get Derek on a better connection. We'll try and put him on the phone. His Zoom network does not seem to work in there. But let me get back to Osei Kwame Griffith, even as we await Julius to come back on. Mr. Griffith, you've heard the points that Abdallah Martin has been raising, that the NIA has demonstrated enough technical competence to be able to clear its backlog in time for this ECCI, if it goes through, to take effect.
So, let me say that, just to correct my brother, I don't know if I have miscommunicated my point. I never said that money is being charged at the district offices. I'm saying that the fact that you are not going back to give cards to people at the polling station level means they have to transport themselves to the district capital. And take, for example, my own hometown. going for frufuni. You have to take a car to Pepa, say, take another car to Amoasi, take one to Agona, the district capital. You may spend about 30 to 40 cedis before you can go get your card. And I think that comes at a cost. And I indicated as an example that when we wanted to take money for the cards, we were denied even as little as 5 cedis for the simple reason that the person who does not have 5 cedis will be disenfranchised. So that is the point that I want to correct. The other thing that I want to say is that he said that the NIA has given assurance. We don't make laws based on an assurance of some infrastructure or some system that will exist in the future. We don't make laws today. The fact that the easiest way to transport patients to Accra is through by plane, and there's some plan that government will build airports in all district capitals. You won't go and make a law today saying that patients must be transported by plane. We don't do that. Number 3, the guarantee system that we are talking about. You see, the mandate of the NIA, what do you call it? The use of the NIA card as a sole document, and also cancelling the guarantee system is where the problem is. And it also doesn't make any sense whatsoever, because the NIA, through their own registration, limited themselves to 2 breeder documents, the passport and the birth certificate. When they came out, their stakeholder engagement, which happened after they had passed the law, which was interesting. They indicated that there is a passport database of 2 million and a birth certificate database of 7 million. Therefore, they have a pool of 9 million people who had their breeder documents, and that would be a good start. The rest can come via guarantee system. We have to let them know that before you get a passport, you need a birth certificate. Therefore, it is a superset of the passport database, the birth certificate database. Therefore, they have only 7 million. So they started with a breeder document which had a population of 7 million. So today, if they have registered 17 million, then it tells you that reasonably, it tells you that perhaps it is very reasonable to assume that about 10 million of those who have registered went through the guarantee system. So therefore, why do you say that we will not do a guarantee system? Because it leads to all the things that you have talked about, that minor registration and what have you.
Mr. Griffith, the EC has made the point that the NIA's guarantee system is much more robust. So that, for instance, if you wanted to guarantee for someone, they are commissioners of oath at these registration points, which you will swear, which if you lie, it comes with a penalty of perjury. That is not the same for the normal guarantee system we see at the voter registration centers, where people just walk by and say that I can guarantee for this person. They actually make the point that people turn themselves into guarantee contractors. They just get in the queue and say, I can guarantee for this, I can guarantee for that, take money without even knowing these persons. They say the guarantee system, as the EC has been using over the past few years, lends itself to abuse.
Very good point. Very good point. So adopt the NIA guarantee system. That's that simple. The point that has to be made very clearly, that I want to make this, and perhaps the EC, within the next week or whatever time they may have, they should point to one registration system in this world that has a set of breeder documents, I don't know how many, that does not use the guarantee system. And the answer is none. Because no matter how many breeder documents you select and how well their penetration is in the population, you would have a certain set of people who will not have any of those documents. That must be made very clearly. Look,
Martin, you want to make a point?
District centers.
Yeah, Martin, what's the point?
Who don't have their card 2 years old of this. Hello?
Yeah, Martin, do you want to make a point? You can do so.
Yes, Kwaku. It is really interesting. The records as expressed by the Electoral Commissioner, I don't know where Mr. Griffiths is conjuring his records from, honestly. because as a record presented by the Electoral Commissioner, as it's expressly presented, the Electoral Commissioner, about 10 million Ghanaians regarding the 2020 registration process, 10 million Ghanaians registered for their voters' ID card using the breeder documents of the Ghana card. What it means is that simply that a lot of Ghanaians have in their possession the Ghana card. And it means that a lot of Ghanaians are also very conversant and familiar with using the Ghana card as a breeder document or as a pre-requirement or source document for registration. So it's as simple as that. Let us not go and conjure any facts and figures. From what does the track record figure, what does it say? It says that a lot of Ghanaians are familiar and they are conversant with using the Ghana card as a breeder document for registration.
Good point there. Let me. Good point to bring in Derek Ejekum. Derek and Julius have now joined me on the phone. Derek, let me come to you first. What do you make of this controversy?
Good evening, Kwaku, and a very good evening to your listeners out there. I'm sorry for the earlier glitches as a result of me driving home.
That's fine. I'll get to Griffith shortly, but make the point.
Kwaku, on the contrary, my concern of this whole opposing of the NDC to, or the minority group in parliament, to the new CI, my concern has to do with to what end, what is the achievement? Are we not in a country where we are expecting that, regardless of the human error, we would have a minimized number of foreigners who are always trooping in to be registered as Ghanaians because of elections? There are registrations out there, and there's no single registration that you can point out or take out guarantee system out of it. But the point is, with the Ghana card system, even if somebody is going to guarantee your citizenship as a Ghanaian, it needs to be endorsed by the Commissioner of Oath. Where if you lie, there are penalties or sanctions that you would face. And so I don't know why we should get to this point where we may want to oppose the new CI. In any case,
so Derek, why not the EC adopting this same system? Because we all admit that there are a number of Ghanaians who do not have their Ghana card yet. What should happen to them? Why won't the EC adopt this other part where guarantee system and just go and do the Commissioner of Oath thing? Why do we have to take it out completely and go just strictly Ghana card when the Ghana card itself has as a way of getting it some guaranteeing?
We may want to take out the inflation of foreigners to the barest minimum. In any case, as I was making the point, in any case, this project or this registration exercise is a year-long exercise. Things are not done in a rush. It's not a 3 months, it's not a 4 months, or it's not a 9-day wonder. It's a year-long, 48 weeks. We have this year-long. In any case, when we have the Ghana card as the primary document for the voters' registration, I'm not sure there will come a time where the EC would want us to re-register again. And so, as and when you turn 15 for your Ghana card, when you turn 18, you visit the nearest district electoral commission's office, you are enrolled onto the voter system. And so I don't know why we should even have this back and forth conversation with opposing views and the supporting views. Why is it always the case that any new reforms, we have the minority group in parliament opposing it? What is the mastermind? What is the brain? What do they want to achieve? And so beyond these objections, beyond these controversies and all of that, I propose or I suggest that when we have a system, that is the Ghana card system, that is very robust. I mean, when you travel around the world, you'd realize that most countries that we look up to have a single card for every single thing they do in their country. And so I'm sure it's a journey, and Ghana will get there with time. And so let's support the Electoral Commission as the independent body that is to regulate our elections and what have you. And these back and forth, these attacks and all of that, I mean, would let people lose faith in the commission. And we may not want to get to that point.
Right. So, okay, Derek, hold your horses there. I'll come back to you. But Martin, Derek makes quite an interesting point that I want to throw to you. He makes the point that about this harmonious card system, sometimes in the US, in the UK. I put the same thing to Griffith. He tried to answer that as well. But Martin, you are from Yendi. I know that you are in Yendi at the moment. Are you aware how many people in Yendi have their Ghana card? And is it in such a way that if the EC proposed to do this, so many people in Yendi will not be disenfranchised?
I don't see why what we fail to indicate or highlight even as an addition to this CI, apart from using the Ghana card as a reader document or as a primary document to a registration process, what we fail to add is that, in fact, the new CI is also outdooring a new process that gives an unlimited duration for registration. So what it means is that there is no any fetters as to what time or what duration the registration would be done. So even with regards to the previous regime, where we had a limited registration process, now what do you say about those people who aren't able to register within the given period because of maybe circumstances? They might be out of the country, or because of the fact that they don't attain the eligible age of 18 years. They will attain the eligible age of 18 years after the registration process. Those people are indeed out of the legitimate process of being registered or being a registered voter in their country. So essentially what I'm saying is that even the previous regime, where we had a limited process, that was actually preventing a lot of people or disenfranchising a lot of people from registering. What this new system presents is that it gives an unlimited period. Whatever period or time you are able to acquire your Ghana card, you walk up to any NIA district office, go through the process for free, and then you get yourself registered.
Martin, I was making the point about Yendi. I was making the point about Yendi and other such communities where the facts suggest that not so many people have registered. Of course, the NIA say that with the needed injection of funds, they'll be going to this area to mop up and do more registrations. The district officers, they will equip them with the relevant materials, the cards and all that. But Martin, you are coming from Yendi. I don't know if you have the numbers. Are you impressed with the numbers?
Yes. So that is why I said that the facts are in the figures, the facts are in the statistics. That ISA locator, the facts are in the figures, because I have presented to you that whether in Yendi or in Axim or anywhere in Ghana, put all the numbers together. It is 541,529 outstanding cards which have not been printed. And as regards the Ghanaians who would attain 18 years, when you make a reflection to the 2021 population census, what it says is that about 2.5 million Ghanaians will attain 18 years in the next 1 or 2 years. So what it means is that any Ghanaian who attains the appropriate age can go and register with the NIA or with the district office of the NIA and get his or her card given or issued, and the person walks up to the electoral commission office or district office any point in time, whether any point in time in the month within a working week to register. There is no fetters. There is no limited time to it. I think that it is a robust system. It is a success system, and it is spot on. And it is a regime we must welcome as Ghanaians. The NIA has given us assurance given their technical and operational competence, that within 11 days, they would be able to issue the 541,529 outstanding cards.
The minority say they don't trust
about in this regard.
The minority say they don't trust those assurances. They don't trust the assurance from the NIA.
Please,
neither do they trust the assurance from the finance minister. Okay, Griffith, come in with this point.
Okay, first of all, let me say that Kwaku, do you know how many times NIA has given deadlines to the completion of the system to issue Ghanaians to issue cards to every Ghanaian? 17 times. 17 times. And it started right in the first quarter of 2017 when they said, per the MPP manifesto, they are going to issue cards to all eligible Ghanaians within 12 months. This did not even start with the issue of one card until they issue a card to the president on the, I think, 15th or so, middle of September of the same year. And we kept postponing and postponing 17 times is when we have had assurance of a deadline from NIA. Now, my brother...
But the question is whether they will be able to deliver on this. I think that is important for us to reflect. Let me whether they were able to deliver on the 541,000. And the track record, they've shown that they've proven a track, they have a track record.
I have just given you their record 17 times. Please, the next thing is that printed cards left to be printed does not mean anything. If you have printed your cards and the cards are sitting in district centers, people cannot transport themselves from their villages, from their farms, to come to the district center to come and take those cards. That is where the problem is. Not the number of cards left to be printed. Doesn't mean anything. Okay, that's point number 3. Point number 4, I am totally at a loss. When a political party that was against the payment of 5 cedis for registration somewhere in 2010, 2011, is now supporting with all their energy people transporting themselves to the NIA districts, capitals, district offices, because it would definitely take more than 20 cedis in so many places to transport themselves to the NIA offices in the district capitals to do so. Look, let's be honest, okay? We need to be truthful to Ghanaians. I am struggling to understand an electoral commission who says that he is against the registration of minors, and therefore he is going by, he's scrapping a guarantee system, but adopting an NIA system that has majority registrations that are guarantees. He could have adopted the NIA system. I'm also struggling to understand how they could be in favor of not registering minors when they are limiting the data that is supposed to be given to political parties by removing the date of birth requirement, which we use as a means to run against school databases to check the actual ages of minors. I am struggling to understand that. Please, let us not kid ourselves, okay? It is very clear that if the NIA is left to operate for the next 5 years, we will still have eligible voters who will not have the NIA card per the way they have planned to roll out. Like I said, they were supposed to go to the field twice, but they relied on the instant issuance of cards, and as a result of that, they went to the field once. Now, the rest of the statistics that we have now, where they are boasting of, has been driven by people's desire to get the NIA card for services that have deadlines. For example, the same card registration. Now, the leftovers are the people who actually cannot afford to come to the NIA district centers to take their cards. Let's not kid ourselves. Okay? Right. So as we speak, let's understand that this is a serious national issue. Article 42 of the Constitution says you must be a Ghanaian of sound mind and 18 years and above
to be registered to vote. So I'll come back and take your final thought, but let's go on social media and see what people are talking about.
Join us now on Twitter, #Ghana Connect Live, Facebook, Joy 99.7 FM, or send us a WhatsApp on 0244 340 437, and we will call you back. Join the nation's biggest conversation now and connect to authority.
All right, I've been joined by my colleague Michael Papani Ashale. Michael, do you have a Ghana card?
Yeah, I do have a Ghana card. I got it a very long time ago.
I think I'm probably sure you did it at Legon. When, you're a young man, so Legon won't be about it. Yeah, but what is the view on social media? We have a poll out there. What is the question and how are people voting?
So, I mean, on Joy 99.7 FM, we have, is the Electoral Commission right to require the Ghana card as the sole identity document to register as a voter in its proposed CI? Or the results here are quite, I think it resonates rather one-sided. You find out later. So we have 20% of the people saying, well, I don't care. Simple. I don't care. Very, very close. Just 20% of them don't care. And this is more than 200 votes that we are talking about. And 20% says that we don't care. And then you have 27% going for yes.
So they back the EC.
Yes. Just 27% of those people back the EC. And the whopping 53% say, well, no, the EC is not right to require the Ghana card as the sole identity. So this 53% of the people will side with the minority in this particular case here.
Right. So, I mean, very interesting perspectives being shared there on social media. Let me read some comments that are coming in on Twitter, for instance. Kofi Zadokeli tweeting at us at K. Zadokeli says, issuance of the Ghana card is within the control of government. Am I to believe the government's motive for pushing this agenda is to make sure nobody in the opposition strongholds is denied the opportunity to acquire the Ghana card to obtain a valid ID to vote against the government? He ends with saying, cheer. Mr. Word says, if the NPP doesn't have a hidden agenda, then it's a right call to prevent minors and foreigners from voting. It will even affect both parties because they are all involved in such acts at their various strongholds. That is allegation. Mr. West tweeting at us at Karim_Musa says, survival is the key. Tweeting at God is the. He says democracy, he says something there, and voting doesn't make any point to him. So, Papani, we have some, people sending us messages on our WhatsApp console.
Yeah, some of our connectors have been sending us some on WhatsApp. Yeah, this is from Mr. Eugene. And he says that the majority leader thinks Ghana is just only Accra and Kumasi. Well, did he know that some communities in their district capital, this is difficult to read. Well, did he know that for some communities they have to go to their district capital? I guess that's what you're saying. For that, then all the way from Equipping, we have this one. It says that, well, Ghanaians should be careful of these NPP government. Anytime any member of this government uses a Bible quote, there's going to be a disaster. Papa Ansa, thank you for that. This one says, well, the EC argument is to prevent foreigners and minors from voting. But has the EC caught and prosecuted any foreigner or minor for that matter? This didn't come with it, but thank you for that message. This one from Samuel, all the way from Christian Village, says that someone should come from Amevlovi Islands to Atimpoku for the Ghana card, or from Petegu to Golokoti. Wow, that's interesting. Golokoti for the Ghana card.
Right. So, some very interesting points. I saw a message from someone. I think we are just about 4 minutes to wrap up. So I'll go to my guest. From Papa Ansa from Latekia. Okay, Papa Ansa, shout out to you. I went to school at Latekia, Benkum Senior School, the best SHS in Ghana, as you may know. So yeah, that's about that. Shout out to you. So let me wrap up with my connectors. Let me start from Derek. Derek, am I to assume from all that you've said that you are fully in support of EC laying this document in Parliament and it becoming law? Hello, Derek. So, okay, I don't have Derek.
Hello, Kwaku.
Yes, Derek. Am I to assume that you are fully backing the EC in a minute so that they can lay this document?
Yes, please. I give the EC my 500% support to lay this year in Parliament. In any case, this year is seeking to eradicate the barest minimum, the influx of minors and foreigners. Most importantly, this isn't done in a rush. It's a one-year registration project. And so I am sure at the end of the one-year registration project, the NIA would have issued a number of cards, or the backlog that they have to issue cards to might have been done, and they would have successfully registered for the voters' ID card. And so, yes, I give the Electoral Commission my 500% support.
Right. Thank you very much, Derek, for joining us. Martin, you clearly, from all that you've said, you want the EC to lay this document. You don't believe, like the minority have said, that this will lead to some violence and conflict if the EC is supposed to go ahead? Hello, Martin. Can you unmute?
Absolutely. Like I said in my prelims, that I said that to the extent that this particular CI is going to introduce a regime of participatory, inclusive, free, fair election, a clear election, which the opposition is actually making or advocating for, and all of us are duly in support of that, to that extent that this particular CI will bring such a climate to our electoral process. I am totally and strongly tempted to yield to the position of the Electoral Commission. Indeed, the Electoral Commission in any case does not even register voters at polling station levels. They used to do it at cluster. So the point is that whatever it is, a voter who wishes to vote will make the necessary effort to ensure that they get themselves on the electoral roll. That is so important. So as Ghanaians and as people, whatever process, over the years, the Electoral Commission has introduced a lot of reforms.
And these reforms, clearly, like I see from you, is working very much for you. Martin, thank you very much. We are just about running out of time. So let me give the last word to Asante Kwame Griffith. Martin, I'm very grateful that you made time to join us and share this insightful thought with us. Mr. Griffith, last word.
Yeah, I just want to point out that my brothers who have shown their 500% support to the EC, I was hoping that during the course of them advancing the arguments, they would actually demonstrate how a farmer at Bamboy will be able to get his or her card, get himself transported to Bali to get his or his card. But no, it has always been political parties doing this, the NDC doing that, with no reasons and arguments that tells you that, that refutes the fact that the Electoral Commission, per their action, will be inserted into eligibility of Ghanaian to vote. The ability to transport himself, and therefore some monetary value will be inserted into the eligibility of Ghanaians to be able to register and vote. Nobody has refuted, that. That would be a problem.
So clearly, you say that your side in Parliament should oppose the laying of this document.
Of course, I believe strongly that every Ghanaian who wants to see our democracy thrive, who wants to see voters, Ghanaians enfranchised, not disenfranchised for their own, parochial political interest, should support this. And you see, I'm glad when we are talking about NIA that the public are well educated about the problems with them getting their cards. And that is reflected in the polls that you did. That majority of Ghanaians believe that the minority is right. 53%.
Right, exactly. And that's exactly what our polls show. Thank you very much, Asante Kwame Griffith. Thank you very much, Abdul Martin, Julius Kwame Anthony, and Derek Ejekum for joining us for this insightful conversation. I have to catch you there, Griffith. We are out of time. This has been Ghana Connect. Your views that came in, we are grateful for them. My name is Kwaku Asante. We'll be back your way next week, same time,